Hey everybody, welcome back. Part number 7, the final part of Zoukei-Mura's BF-109. So let's go ahead and get started.
Welcome back to the final part. What's been a very enjoyable build. So we're going to got a few little jobs to wrap it up. We'll do a final reveal and we'll talk about the whole build itself. And then at the very end, I'll put some photographs so you can see it. Still photographs out in the daylight. So what I've done since last week is just gave a little dry brushing down this wing here where it's exposed with some Citadel dry Necron compound. You've seen me 3 or 4 times earlier in these build series do the exact same thing. Just take my brush and just dry brush it very lightly, barely any paints, just to kind of give a little bit of tonal difference and break it up a little bit that side of the wing. So we're looking good here. I'm just going to put this guy to the side. And we're going to start firstly with the propeller, which is basically 4 components. Now, one glues on the inside there, so we did that already. And I prime them all black, as you can see. Just sticking toothpicks in and just spraying it. So Mr. Surfacer 1500 black. So the cone itself, the nose, I think it's black, so I'll leave it black. I think we have a decal for the swirly bit on the front. This I think is going to be the green color, the interior color. And the prop itself is black on the inside, but the actual blades itself are, according to this, RLM 70. Black green. So just need to mask this up. We'll paint the blades, get a few other things all painted up, and then we get a prop on. So that's the first thing. After the prop, we got the canopy to do, we got the machine guns to do. I think at the end of the wings, we got some lights and stuff to go on, and that's pretty much it. So let me get painting with this, and I'll be right back. All right, so working along with little jobs and stuff to get this thing finished. So firstly, this little guy up here should be burnt umber, and all I have is oil paint. So I got Winsor Newton oil paint, burnt umber. So I just use that. Put some on. It was a little bit too strong, so I took a Q-tip and just wiped off the excess to kind of dial it back a little bit. But yeah, if you have regular burnt umber paint, I think that's the way to go. But again, I got this oil paint I've never used before, so I thought, why not? So that was painted, and obviously we got the prop on. So props on, and painted per the instructions. And I believe it was black-green for the blades, which is XF27 in Tamiya world. So I painted the blades, assembled it all, put it all together, and got the decal for the swirly thing on the spinner. That was a little bit of a challenge to get down. I did use some strong UMP solution to get it bed down. And well, the good thing is it's pretty thick, and it had plenty of working time, so a few minutes worth to get that thing lined up. And I'm not sure exactly the right spot, but go. So I left the spinner itself. I left the Mr. Surfacer 1500 black, and I just put a decal on over the top, and then I dry brushed the size of the blades. The usual, the whole build we've been using this Necron compound, and then gave it when it's dry, gave everything a quick matte coat of XF86, and this just slots right on. It doesn't spin because my internal structure is glued by accident, so it doesn't spin, but it just comes off on and off pretty easily. I'm not going to attempt to take it off. But there is a locating pin. It's kind of like a C shape, and you got a pin that goes. So make sure you line it up, because I was forcing it on, and obviously I wasn't straight. So make sure you line it up with the pin. The prop goes on, no problem at all. And there we go. And I'm just going to put this to the side real quick. And what else? Then we were canopy. So instructions. You've got to actually go forward to the very back page where the markings are to get the masking guide. And here it tells you where all the pieces go, all that kind of stuff. And you got this vinyl mask set right here. Die cut, which is super easy. Now there's quite a few pieces here you can see for glass work, which is kind of nice because you have some spares, but you can see there's so many different versions. If you're an expert on BF-109, you might tell by these. Maybe you can tell which versions are coming up next. But different instrument panels, 2 different instrument panels, 2 different, so there's definitely several versions coming along. Also the little lights on the side of the wing, painted from the inside, red and blue per the instructions, and then they'll go on. Unfortunately, we don't have a mask for the outside, so we have to guess I have to use some masking fluid and then paint the frame around the glass before I put it onto the wing. But yeah, lots of spare parts here, as you can see. So definitely tons of versions along the way. So a little bit tricky. You have to drill a hole to put this. What is N17? I'm trying to see what the part is. It's short antenna mast. And what you basically do is just drill a hole from the inside. There's a mark. It's pretty clearly marked. So you just drill it from the inside, and I just very small touch of super glue, just glued it on place. So hopefully it won't move. Now drilling, I just used my hand. Use these old PCB drills, 0.8 mil, and just with my hand, just carefully, screw out that little tiny little hole so I can put this guy on. So that's obviously all masked up, ready to go. Same with the windscreen, all done. And we have some other components that go into this. They're all going to be German grey, which is XF63. So we're going to paint them all at the same time. We've got some few internal pieces of glass. We've got this guy in the instrument, which is the gun sight. So I'll just mask off the clear part on top crudely. I'm just going to spray again the rest of this German grey at the same time as the rest of this guys. These ones have, these two pieces here have masks on the inside and the outside. Whew, so there we go. So I did make a screw up. I want a canopy open, and there were a couple of tabs down here. Because I didn't read instructions, I just cut those off. Not a problem, we can just rest it and glue it in place open, I think, because it obviously opens to the side. But yeah, I missed this little part of the instructions right here. So I cut off the tabs. Cool, so that kind of gets you up to speed of where I'm at. So I'm going to go ahead and get this canopy stuff painted up with that German grey. Obviously, we're not going to use primer because you want to see it from the inside, right? So XF63, sorry, for all these parts. And then, yeah, we'll keep on cracking. I need to figure out, get some masking fluid and mask with these little lights too. All right, excuse the mess on the bench. We're in full-time assembly mode and almost done. So a little catch up where we're at. So the gun sight's in. Really nice fit. This little guy right there, if you can see it. Again, we just masked up the front, the glass bit, and just sprayed the rest with the internal cockpit German grey color. So that's in. What else? The lights are on. Oh, my hands are away. There you go. Each side. That's not a great fit on that one, and that one too. Now, my top tip on this would be get these lights put in first before you start painting. I think that's going to be a lot easier and look a lot nicer because then you can really blend it and sand it and stuff. I can't really do too much once it's all painted. So paint the inside the clear blue and a clear red, mask up the glass on the top, and then just glue them in and then spray it all at once. For example, on the back here, you can see there's a bit of a seam line, but I had to come back and before I took the mask off, I came and sprayed it yellow just to blend it in a little bit because this was a darker color. So again, do the lights first. I think it'd be a lot easier if you did it that way than how I did it. Now, the keen eye of you will know that we've got an extra thing here for the mount for the machine gun. So if you remember way back to part number 1 or 2, I don't know what happened to it. I lost the right mount for the gun. It just disappeared. I painted it. It was on my desk, and who knows? It just disappeared. So I made it kind of blends in. It's underneath the guns. You're not going to see it. I think it looks pretty good. And how I did that was simply I was kind of fortunate going through my scratch building materials. I had some of this I-beam polystyrene, and hopefully you don't need this. Hopefully you don't lose your piece like mine. And what I did is I just cut a piece off the right kind of length. And then on the underside, I just sanded it to get it kind of smoothish. So when we just, instead of like an eye, it's more like, just ridges on the top side. So that was a quick little fix. Took like 2 minutes, literally. Super glued it on. Well, painted it and super glued it on. And I think we're going to be in good shape. So that being said, I think now we can go ahead and add the machine guns on the front here. So what else? Painted the canopy. I'm a little worried. I clear coated it XF86. Maybe put too much on, but it's kind of all gone white over top. This is all masking, so I'm hoping when I take the masking off, it's not going to be like white residue everywhere. Worst case scenario, I do have extra canopies. You get 2 in a set for different versions. or I could just leave it off altogether, because if we've got it open like this, we don't necessarily need the canopy on. Got the other lot of parts painted up same color at the same time. Again, still have the masking applied. Also, this little guy here, the drop tank, built this guy, not real issues there. Put the two sides together and got a nasty bit of a seam line, so I just added some sprue glue. So once that dries, I can come back and sand it and hopefully get it seamless and get this into paint as well, and then this will just sit underneath. So a lot going on, as always, with building planes. At the very end, you bring all the stuff together, trying to get it finished up. So we're almost there, and get the guns on, work on the canopy. I'm not sure if I'm going to add like the antenna wire. Maybe I will, I don't know, because if I've got the canopy open, it's going to run at a weird kind of angle, I think. I'm not sure if I don't know how that works. So I'll look into it, yeah. So good. So I'm crack on. I think hopefully now it's about 2:25 on a Sunday afternoon. I'm thinking hopefully this will be done by the end of the day, and start a new project next week. So yeah, a lot of fun, really enjoying this one. So let me continue the last few little jobs and get this thing finished.
So we're done. So full disclaimer, it's been about a month since I finished it. I was waiting for some grass in Italy, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So yeah, in its case, all done. And on this camera here, you probably see it a little bit better. Quick little peek, how we're all looking. And as always, I took it outside in a natural daylight, and we can insert a little video here of you can actually see it, not walk around. Now, and the sun was out, so a little bit shadowy and bright sunshine, but I think you get the idea of what's going on here. So that's how we're looking, and yeah, I obviously took the image without the glass, the acrylic case on it, so you can actually see a little better, no reflection. So yeah, what can I say about this? It's a fantastic build. Everything just fell together. No fit issues, no issues at all. The instructions were fabulous. Tons of information on there. Looked a little bit crazy, but when you actually look at it, each page was only a few parts. It's just a lot of different angles to help you, and different areas and color callouts, that kind of stuff. Great model. One of the best I've ever built. Now, offset that with some negatives. 3 things. I'm looking at my notes here. First thing, no harness. You got all this beautiful detail on here and no seatbelt harness. No decals, no photo etch, nothing. So you might want to invest in maybe some fabric harnesses if you want to. For now, I just left it off, built it completely out of the box. So no seatbelt harnesses. The decals, for whatever reason, they didn't want to stick very good. A day or two later, I went to to do something with the aircraft, and one of the decals kind of came off my fingers. So I sealed it all in and stuff, but just generally, I don't know why, but it didn't stick that great. But they are nice and thin. They did go down pretty well. Just it didn't seem to adhere so well to the surface for whatever reason. And lastly, minor, but the drop tank here, all the decals, there's no color, there's no mark, there's no call outs for those decals. There's an error in the instructions. They just forgot it. So they did decals, markings. Sorry. Let me start again. They did diagrams to show where the decals went, but for the drop tank they didn't for some reason. I missed it, but I went for instructions pretty in depth. But there we go. And then using the Trump display case, I forgot which number it is. It's this guy right here, and you can see it's all totally protected now, glued in, and it doesn't get dust on it or damaged or anything. So that side, you've got basically just the aircraft itself, and on this side is where I did the surgery and kind of really opened it up. So this side is where it's all open, exposed, and you can see the details. Again, with the plastic, it's going to be hard on the camera to see inside there. Did make an attempt with the guy to paint him. I'm not a figure beta by any means, so excuse my the mess I did there. And that is it. Actually, no, I should actually probably mention the base. So I'm gonna look here, and it is Diorama Presepi in Italy. Now, the first time I bought from them, their website, they have thousands of items on there, and they have these sheets of grass. It came like this, and it looks really awesome. They have different colors and stuff. It's all kind of pre-done. It came really well packaged. I think it was like €13 and maybe about another €7 shipping. Now, it did take like a few while to get to me, almost a month, hence the delay in sending this last part of the video, but that's my own doing. I put the wrong zip code on my I typoed the last 2 digits, and the postal system just couldn't handle it. It was bouncing backwards and forwards between all these different post offices for weeks on end, and I finally received it. Yeah, my street address and my city and state was all correct, but the zip code, it kind of screwed up. So it took a long time to get here. Maybe a couple of weeks longer than it should have done, but nevertheless, just really sets it off nicely. The color, the green grass, with the green grass with the aircraft on. Just really sets it off nicely. Just glued it down with some Mod Podge onto the plastic case here. And very simple but effective looking way to display it. So that really is it. As always, I'll do some still pictures when we're done. Thank you for following along. Hope you enjoyed this one, and if so, I'll see you on the next build series. Thank you and have a great time. Bye.